I now work less hours, get more done, and taste complete freedom every single day. But it's only when I follow a strict structure of dominoing events that allow me to be completely potent when I am working and completely free when I'm not. Let me explain how I got to this point. So there's what I call the side hustle potency. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you also have a side hustle, you're forced to be extremely efficient, extremely potent with your time, simply just because at least 8 hours of your day, more likely 10 if you're commuting, is being taken up by a job. And so if you have this passion project, this side hustle that you're having to fit in time and work on this project around all of these other obligations that you have in life. And so you end up finding these really short periods of time where you have to be completely focused, completely efficient and potent in your work. And it's almost forced by the fact that you have all of these other obligations and you have this time restriction. You have to be really, really potent. Otherwise, nothing gets done, because if it's your side hustle, you're the only one working on it. If you don't do the things, you don't take the action, then there's no progress being made. Everything just freezes in place. And so for me, when I had my 9 to 5, this was me getting up at 5 a.m. to get 2-3 hours of work in on my business before I had to go and leave for my 9 to 5. And it's brutal. It's really difficult. You're head against the grindstone doing the really difficult actions at the time when it's really difficult to get them done. Either 5 to 9 a.m. or 5 to 9 p.m. really is the only time that you have outside of the traditional 9 to 5 working hours. And I definitely found that when I was working in those 5 to 9 a.m. slots, I had to be as potent as possible. I had to be doing only the things that were going to make a difference, because I only had a couple of hours every day, and forced because you really just don't have a choice. If you're working the 9 to 5, your options are limited. This is the only time that you have available, and so you have to make do with what you have. And I think it's generally true that when structure is being enforced upon you, you're not really learning the skills of how to maintain the output that you get from that structure. If it's being imposed upon you, then the first thing that happens when you lose that structure is you also lose the level of output that comes with it. And so for me, this was true when I first quit my 9 to 5 and I now had complete freedom to work on the business as much as I wanted. I didn't have the structure enforcing the actions and the potency that I had when I only had the 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And so despite having all this extra time, I ended up doing less work in more time. Basically, I think unrestricted freedom means that you lose your potency. You end up having too much time, too many decisions, and you don't end up getting enough done. Even if you sit at your desk for 8 hours, you're probably not doing the same high-level tasks that you were forced to have to do when you were only working 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. as a side hustle. Like, we all fall prey to Parkinson's law, where work just fills to the time that we allow for it. And so if we have all this freedom, we have all this time, we end up attributing it to the same tasks that we were getting done in less time and just spending more time on them. But really, we're getting less done. We're being less potent, less efficient. And this was a trap that I 100% fell into for months. I wasn't getting the same output on my time. Despite having more time to allocate to the business, there was less progress being made. And it's really frustrating. For me, the complete freedom was almost overwhelming. There was just an endless amount of decisions that I could make. And so making the right decision was really difficult. And I was asking myself to do that again and again and again at multiple points throughout the day. And it also meant that I had all of this freedom, but I didn't feel very free. I felt like I was always having to think about work because I wasn't getting the work done in the time that I allowed myself for it. So I felt like I was in this position getting the worst of both worlds. Not getting the work done and also not having the freedom that this life was supposed to be giving me. And for me, like, enjoying the freedom, the time off, the relaxation, it's much easier for me to switch off and just reward myself and relax and enjoy true freedom when I can pat myself on the back and say, you did the hard thing, you've done something, you've made progress today. And so after a few months, it started dawning on me that I had lost this side hustle potency and I was just floating around in this endless freedom. And so I realized I need to reintroduce some structure to get this potency back. So I figured out the recipe that I need really for a perfect day. And it's just getting some deep work done on the business and exercising. And then after that, the free time that I have feels so much more rewarding and relaxing. And so I'm a digital nomad now. I'm spending 2 months traveling around different countries, currently in South America. And it means I have complete control over crafting my environment so I can make this perfect day every single day. Ultimately, it's really just a set of behaviors that I need to complete to have a perfect day. When you have complete control over your environment, you can engineer having your perfect day every single day consistently. It's something that if you're aware of, you can be taking notes throughout your life as what contributes to the perfect day. What are the little actions that I do that make a big difference? And then when you get the opportunity, you can craft the environment where you can have all of these things together to make the perfect day your reality. So for me, it's getting a good night's sleep, having a cold shower in the morning, getting some breakfast in, getting some work done, and exercising. And so now, living as a digital nomad, having complete freedom, I still choose to set myself a bedtime and set myself an alarm in the morning to get up, because then I can start this chain of the cold shower, the breakfast, getting the work done, going to the gym, exercising, and having all of these actions completed, to where I then get half of the day where I'm completely free, I have no obligations, and I can enjoy the place that I'm in. There's hundreds of little hacks that you can follow to make this a reality, but I think focusing on your environment is really where a lot of the 80-20s lie that can be set and forget. Because ultimately your environment will dictate how easy or difficult it is for you to take action, what behaviors you're going to have on the day-to-day. If you have your phone on your bedside, you're much more likely to just pick up your phone right when you wake up. Rather, if you have it in the kitchen, there's just no opportunity for that to happen. There's so many set and forget things that I've changed in my environment to make sure that I'm living the perfect day every day. I think it deserves its own video, but living this structured domino morning has really allowed me to enjoy the freedom of this digital nomad lifestyle that I've chosen. And it's kind of funny, if you had told me that you're going to quit your job and then you're going to live a more structured morning, I wouldn't have believed you. I thought that the whole point of being a digital nomad was complete freedom. You get to make decisions and do whatever you want with your time. You are in control. But I think that the reality is, if you want to actually enjoy that freedom that you're giving yourself, you need to remain potent in the work that you're doing and separate the two. And I think that a dominoing structure like this in the morning is what allowed me to enjoy this lifestyle. I only work 4 hours a day, but in the past 3 months, I've been able to accomplish more than ever before, all while being able to taste complete freedom to explore beautiful places like Mexico City that I'm in right now. So if you want to see what that looks like, then I'll bring you with me. Follow along.